Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do a little thread repair. My son's putting in a replacement engine in his 2008 Chevy crew cab, and we bought a rebuilt motor, and we were putting on a water pump the other day, and one of the water pump bolts was stripped right out of the gate. So obviously they didn't fix that from the factory, but it's what you get when you buy a quasi rebuilt motor from a rebuilder. Anyway, got my meta glasses on, so we're going to be going through some thread repair on this guy right here. And the industry term is a Heli-coil. A Heli-coil repair, that's actually a trade name. And in my little town, I couldn't get one, so Napa had a Fix-A-Thread M8 1.25 thread pitch, part number 35089. Anyway, the way to go about this is the hole that needs to be repaired. You drill the threads out to a particular size, and the drill size is critical, and then you use the supplied thread repair tap. You tap the hole, and then you put the insert in. So we'll be going through that. And I got a little bore scope so we can look at the different holes here before, during, and after the repair, just for giggles, and so somebody who hasn't done this before will have a better idea of what it takes. And it's a pretty easy process, so don't be scared if you've never done it and need to repair some threads on some old cars or whatever, new cars. So Fix-A-Thread, we look back here, it's telling us to use a 8.3 millimeter or 21/64 drill. So I will be getting that. Some kits that you get, Heli-coil kits, quite often come with the tap and the proper size drill. You pay a little bit more for it, and sometimes they have better tools than this particular one. I haven't used this style. Looks a little on the cheaper side, but I'm sure it'll work fine. So let me go find the proper drill, and we'll get going on this. I'm also going to tape up these holes, because you use compressed air to blow out the holes in the chips, and you don't want to get any in your engine. I might even tape off these oil passages here just in case. Knowing my luck, some chips would get in there, and you don't want that. So they do give you instructions. So if my video doesn't do justice, you can just read the instructions. Hopefully I'll give some other pointers that they don't spell out here in these nice little graphics. But there you go. So I've drilled it out. I'll show the bore scope what it looks like before we tap, but then you tap it with the proper size tap. So here's my bore scope, and we'll take a look at these. So see if I can focus this a little bit better, but that's the bad hole. I gotta blow that out. I gotta verify that that black spot back there is not a issue. Hopefully that's just some silicone or something and not going into a water passage. So I've got my caliper. There's 21/64, and also just to verify 8.262729, very close to 8.3. If you get it just right, it might hit 3.32. So that's the drill that I'm going to be using. So one of the key things that you want to be careful of is when you drill, you don't want to obviously be crooked. With taking out just a couple of threads, the drill bit will want to bite and run in there pretty quick. So be careful when you're drilling that. Be prepared for a little bit of torquage, so to speak, when you drill these out. Definitely don't want to go too deep. Need to blow out the chips, but pretty much gets rid of 95% of the threads, it looks like. So there you go. So just like drilling, starting a tap straight is pretty critical, and you don't want to, especially on a $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, $20,000 engine, you don't want to screw a hole up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little, I'm going to take a little scrap piece of aluminum and drill a hole in it that the tap I'll use it as a guide to make sure that the tap is straight. If you don't have one, you can use a block of wood, a piece of plastic, anything that you can drill a little larger size hole in to keep you this square. And I'm going to do that, and I'll be back. Means I've got a couple of mills sitting there. I have that ability. Alright, that thing's definitely wobbly. I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm not sure what's up with that. So this particular collet, or this particular chuck, has a metric. It's just undersized, and I'm using a collet here, and it wouldn't center up. So I've got the old proper 1/2-inch shank Jacobs, and that should solve the issue of wobbly bit. Better. Not great, but for what it is, it'll work. Trick of the trade, kerosene and aluminum. Great cutting fluid on aluminum. And there we are. So here's the little guide block that I made real quick, and this tap slips in. There's a little bit of slop, but it will keep it relatively straight. So I did find when I was grabbing the handle, here's another. This is an actual Heli-coil kit. This one doesn't come with the drill, but it was one of the cheaper kits. You can tell by this, but there's the insertion tool and the tap that comes along with it, and it does specify, has pretty good instructions with the correct drill size for this 1/2-13 repair kit. So there you go. Let's continue on. This had to grab my bigger tap handle, ratcheting one. Oh, would help if your engine doesn't move. Once you get it started, you can remove the block. Always good to use tapping fluid or some sort of lubricant. WD-40 works fine. The trick of the trade is for aluminum is kerosene. Kerosene is a very thin lubricant, and it works great on aluminum. Even if you're machining aluminum with an end mill, you get a little squirt bottle with kerosene, and it helps clear the chips. I like this. You can see that it isn't spinning or wobbling. The center point here doesn't move, so that means I'm nice and straight. We're going to tap it all the way till it bottoms out, which is right there. What you didn't see me do is doing chip breaking, which you typically like to do when you're tapping. So you turn it a little bit and then you back it off, and it breaks the chips off and allows the chips. This was tapping really smoothly, so I didn't do that, but we'll blow it out here and see how it looks and continue on this process. So typically the length, they have different lengths of heli-coils or repair inserts. And typically the rule of thumb is it's 1.5 the diameter of the fastener. So you can see there that it is indeed that. In this particular case, I would have liked to have gotten a longer one that goes the full depth of this hole. But in our little town, you can only get so much, and I didn't feel like waiting around a few days for the proper length. So that's it. So there's this little tang right here that is used, I don't know if it'll focus, but that little tang is used to insert it. You use that to actually turn it in, and then once you do that, you break that off, and that will help lock the insert in and not come out. I have had them come out before when they're not inserted correctly, and there's a little burr or something on this, and it actually grabs the bolt, and you end up, when you extract the bolt or when you take the bolt out, the heli-coil has come out with it. So that is something to be aware of. All right, so here is the tool, and I noticed this tool actually does have a tap handle in it. So there you go. I could have used that as the tap handle, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, this kit does not come with a tang removal tool, but there is a little tool that helps snap those off. They say in these instructions to pull this out, turn it 90, and give it a downward wrap, snap it downwards, down into the hole. Hopefully that will do the trick. So, and something that might be a no-no for some people, I am actually going to use a little bit of red Loctite and let it cure. I'm not going to use much, but it will help lock that in. Just a skosh. Possibly. If I have any in here. Plenty. More than plenty. Oops. I'll use that. Supposed to go about a quarter turn past. Not there yet. That's probably about good. So you do this. I don't know if that actually snapped it off. It might have. we will look with said borescope. It did in fact snap it off. I'll use a little pick and it in fact did snap it off, so I will use a pick and get that out of there. There it is right there. So, that's a... So, there it is. Feels pretty good. Ready to continue on with this project. And there you go, a Heli-coil or thread repair kit from Napa. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Watch some of my other videos, and if you have any comments, leave them in the comments down below. Any questions or something that you would like to see, let me know. Thanks.